Hello student, good morning. Today we will start the placentation in mammals. In all viviparous animals, the embryonic development takes place inside the uterus of the mother. Because the eggs have least quantity of yolk, thus the developing embryo has to depend on the mother in lesser or greater degree for its nourishment. Respiration and other physiological activities, such embryos often get attached with the uterine wall of the mother to draw necessary substances from the maternal circulation by means of an organ called placenta. Placenta is a Latin word which means cake, and it can be defined as an organ built up of maternal and fetal tissue jointly, which serves for the exchange of nutrients and gases between the tissues of the mother and the embryo. The mode of formation and fusion of the placenta to the uterine wall is called placentation. The mode of formation and fusion of the placenta to the uterine wall is called as placentation. The phenomenon of placentation is invariably related with the viviparity of the organism. Placenta are also found in animals other than therians mammals. In fishes and reptiles, the placenta is formed by the union of yolk sac and the chorion. On the other hand, in some reptiles, it is formed by the fusion of allantois, chorion and uterine lining. Next, mode of origin and formation of various types of placenta. Mode of origin and formation of various types of placenta. Mammalian placenta has double origin. It is developed by the apposition of the extraembryonic membrane and the endometrium of the uterus. Thus it consists of two parts: embryonic part comprising the extraembryonic membrane and the maternal part, the uterine endometrium of the embryonic membrane. The amnion does not take part in placenta formation. The chorion, being the outermost membrane, makes immediate contact with the endometrium. The chorion is the chief source of blood supply which it receives from the allantois in mammals. There are two possible sources of chorionic vascularization: the vitelline circulation provided by the yolk sac and allantois circulation provided by the allantois. Thus it can be said that in mammals there exist two essentially different main types of placentae. the chorion vitelline placenta and the chorion allantois placenta. First is choriovitelline placenta or chorionic placenta or yolk sac placenta. This type of placenta is present in most marsupials, Didiphyes, Macropus, and is the sole means of fetal nutrition in many species. It also occurs as a temporary structure in many eutherians, for example, in insectivorous rodents and horse. Many biologists consider the marsupials along with the monotremes. It also occurs as a temporary structure in many eutherians, for example, in insectivorous rodents and horse. Many biologists consider the marsupials along with the monotremes the aplacental mammals. However, some acknowledged that the inefficient apposition of fetal yolk and chorion with maternal tissues functions as a kind of placenta. The chorion vitelline placenta may begin its development with only one cell layer, the trophic ectoderm, which forms chorion, including the blastocele. This is called chorionic placenta. Later it becomes bilaminar due to the blastocele acquiring the endodermal lining. Now it is called yolk sac placenta. Still later, in many species, it becomes trilaminar due to the invasion of extra-embryonic mesoderm and its vascular supply between the trophy ectoderm and the endoderm. At this stage, it is called as chorion vitelline placenta. Chorion vitelline placenta. Thus, in chorion vitelline placenta, the allantois remains relatively small and never makes contacts with the chorion, whereas the yolk sac becomes very large and gets fused broadly with the chorion. However, the chorion never advances beyond a smooth membrane in close opposition with the vascular uterine lining, the endometrium. Second number, chorion allantoic or allantoic placenta. It is formed by that part of the chorion which is lined by the allantois, that is by allantochorion. It is found in all the eutherians and some marsupials, paramels, dicerus mammals. In the eutherians, the allantois develops as a sac-like outgrowth from the hindgut of the embryo. It consists of a layer of mesoderm on the outside, a layer of endoderm on the inner side as the allantois grows and spreads in the extra-embryonic coelom. Its mesoderm fuses with that of the overlying chorion over a somewhat restricted region. The composite structure thus formed is called the allantochorion. It consists of an outer layer of trophoblast, middle layer of fused mesoderm, and inner layer of endoderm. The allantochorion becomes richly vascular and develops small finger-like outgrowths or villi that penetrates into the corresponding crypts developed in the uterine wall. Materials absorbed from the uterine blood circulation are carried to the embryo by the allantoic blood vessels. In man and aphids, the endodermal part of the allantois remains rudimentary and does not reach the chorion. However, its mesoderm and blood vessels grow up to the chorion, whose villi enter the uterine crypts. This type of modified allantoic placenta is sometimes called as chorionic placenta. Okay, thank you.